Wait, what?
Find the biggest, most intimidating inmate and stab him in the carotid artery in front of the whole cafeteria. Oh, but if we do, then what have we become?
Okay, he's really freaking out. Hello, good morning, evening, night, day, whatever time it is where you are. This podcast cannot continue, and we are taking a first look, actually, at a expansion pack for a game for the first time, which we haven't done before. So it'll be a bit experimental, mainly because it is a game that I have experience with, but we're looking at new content. So this is Guild Wars 2, and the expansion is End of Dragons, which came out today. I guess just a little bit of quick background context. I'm already logged in because I was testing some settings and stuff like that, but I haven't accepted the letter or like clicked the thing or whatever to actually start the expansion. And and Colin, who's with me as usual, doesn't play this game at all, so he's kind of like the blind, impassive observer, like, you know what I mean, to kind of bounce things off of, which will be kind of interesting. And I guess one last little thing that's maybe worth disclosing is I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this game. I've been playing it since maybe its first year. I don't know if I should say since it came out, but since around its first year. And it's like a 7 or 8 or 9-year-old game or something. I'm not exactly sure at this point, but I've always sort of struggled to truly love this game. There's a lot of things I like about it, a lot of things I don't. So some of that might be more just about the game and not about the new content. And, you know, like, I'm not necessarily your like super experienced like Guild Wars 2 maining type of player, but we're going to try to look at it through that lens and see how at least the first hour or so of End of Dragons looks. So first things first, my class here, Mesmer, as all classes get in new Guild Wars 2 expansions, has a new specialization tree that I can play that completely changes how my class works. And of course, it would be wrong to not play it. And as you can see, I had stocked up a couple hundred hero points in the past.
Look at everything in one go.
So I can just fully unlock the spec. I made a placeholder copy of my Chronomancer spec because I'm planning to play them both as power, so I've now flipped the Chronomancer spec to Virtuoso, and I did a little bit of reading ahead of time so that I wouldn't spend forever on this because I want to get going and looking at content right away. But my goal here is to try to use as many of the new skills that are Virtuoso specific as much as possible. So I'm going to be setting up a build that, however good or bad it works, I have no idea, uses as many of the new Virtuoso based skills as possible, as these ones are all core Mesmer, so this is like the new stuff for this kind of subclass here. The whole thing is like throwing and using daggers. It seems really cool.
I've noticed that your hotbars here are a lot smaller than they are in Final Fantasy XIV, which is my reference point for MMOs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fair observation.
You only seem to have like the 2 home rows. Do you have like other ones that you rotate through?
Yeah, so I can show you in a moment how that works. These here are, by the way, are just traits. This stuff I'm selecting from is passive. These are like the bars. So let's see here. I'm not going to do condition damage. I was thinking about this one, which sounds like it says range threshold 300 or 600. I'm guessing that the knives are 900, and so it's asking me to be at like 2/3 range to get an extra 10%, which sounds cool. Blocking or dodging gives me boons, cooldown of 3 seconds. Or I can shoot a blade at a phantasm's target, or I can gain
pick one at each level. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Kind of like...
So remember how I unlocked that whole thing in one shot? It would have unlocked stages of this as well as some of these.
Can you change the earlier ones? Like, can you swap this around?
This?
Or have you
these two?
committed?
Yeah.
No. The one you're on right now. Have you committed to that knife thing? Or
I can change this stuff as much as I want. As long as I'm not in combat. It's very free to change it.
That's cool.
Blocking or dodging stocks blades seems cool. I'm going to explain that to you really quickly, too, just because you're watching. I want you to get an idea of what's going on.
Sure.
I think this one might be nice for me to focus on the other things because this one's super passive. It's just every 3 seconds I get another blade. So just for the sake of showing a bit of how Mesmer has worked traditionally, because the Virtuoso is kind of unique, is let me fight something that's just really easy, just for the sake of not making it take forever. Is when we press some of our buttons, we get a clone. You see that? It's like my character again, right? And then like we have these phantasms and stuff too, which are like more illusions, illusionary disenchanter, right? And then I can like press a button that makes them all shatter, as you can see, and it turns into butterflies or whatever. And usually anything that's beside the enemy when it shatters as a clone gets like some kind of like effect on it, right? So the new Virtuoso totally removes clones, and instead we get blades that let us do these things instead of called blade songs instead of shattering. That I don't know. It seems cool. It seems like a more direct damage kind of focused build and less like building up clones and shattering them. I'm not really sure how it's going to work, but it also enables access to a new weapon that Mesmer had never had access to before, which is Dagger.
Inventory's so big.
Yeah, so I was prepared for this.
Oh,
I even got myself a cool Dagger skin that looks like a rat.
Okay.
It's got a little mouse on it. It's from the Zodiac set, so that's pretty cool. Never got to use daggers before. Dagger on Mesmer is actually a ranged weapon, but I'm not going to...
oh, you shoot them like Gambit?
Oh, cool. They gave me some stuff to start with. But I'm going to save... Oh, and you can see the blades. They just float around me when they're stocked. Well, but like I'm going to save testing combat until an actual situation here. So let's see. So this is a mail they gave me. I'm not going to...
So you're just going to jump straight into the story stuff?
Yeah, that's my goal here. I'm trying to figure out how to actually get there. Usually they send us a letter, and there should be a way to like teleport to it, but
must go to the Waking Sands.
Right. Actually, I'm pretty sure, to be honest, I know where it starts. I think.
It's huge.
Yes. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is until this expansion, there was a cutoff right about here. So even some of this stuff where there is no maps, we still have some ideas of where some things might be. Like, we never knew that there was islands here. Oh, God, I'm getting attacked. Let me try to get out of here. Maybe. Or maybe I just kill it. Okay, fine. We're testing out the dagger.
And? I mean, it looks
pretty
cool
cool
to me.
Yeah, so these were the 4 things with the clones before, and now they're blade songs instead. And the other thing that's worth mentioning in this game is you actually swap weapons, right? So I have like a swap set here, and I actually want to change how these are configured.
Is that like switching between your hotbars for different skills?
Kind of. There's a cooldown on this in combat, but basically all classes in this game get 2 weapon sets, and you can swap between them.
And it's like two loadouts, kind of?
Yeah, but you dynamically use them both during like any given combat encounter. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go somewhere where I won't get attacked.
Yeah,
so I can look at the map.
So you actually swap between them on purpose in the middle of a rotation?
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
So there's a whole western edge here, including we never knew there was any land over here before. But the main thing is the new expansion takes place on this continent. And as you can see, these yellow dots are my guild members, or guildies here. So these are where the new maps are, and I got to figure out how it's going to get us there. They added a cute little compass now that the world is so big to like show the 4 different regions now. And I'm pretty sure, I think we go here to start this. One of the nice things about Guild Wars 2, historically, with their expansions, is that you've never actually had to do like the whole story to unlock or access content. So for the most part, we should be able to kind of do like the introductory like scene or 2 or whatever, and then move on. Oh, I think it's right here. I can see they have like story dialogue icons on them.
Were you riding on a tiger?
It's a jackal, actually.
Oh. It went a little pixely for a second on my end, so I couldn't tell. I was like, is that a tiger?
Oh, I see. I feel like these dialogue options were always here. Recordings that took place in the lab area. Yeah, that's where it ended. So how am I supposed to start this thing? Is it that?
Concept.
The concept arts are Oh, this is this takes me somewhere else, doesn't it? If I don't know what it is, but it's not. Interesting. Where am I supposed to go to start this thing? Not there, right? That's so interesting. I would have thought it was going to be in here. Yeah, this thing, it can like teleport and go through sand portals and stuff. There's like different mounts have different like mobility in this game.
Okay.
Which is really different. Like there's one that can jump really high. There's one that can jump over gaps.
Kind of neat.
Forging steel. View the Eye of the North before your friends arrived here. No. This is the only thing that shows this. See this green thing? You can consider that basically like the MSQ icon, right? Maybe I have to go like this. Oh, you know what I probably have to do? I probably have to go like this. End of Dragons. Begin this story. There we go.
Research log 428.
I just remembered.
Latest results still inconclusive.
How do I give you some context on what you're seeing?
You don't have to.
That's the ending of the
gonna-
base game with that one flying through the air.
Okay, Elder Dragons.
They're like forces of nature.
The Dragon Cycle sounds like a rad name for a motorbike.
Unimaginable suffering through the ages. Countless lives
New from
shattered.
Kawasaki. The Dragon
And
Cycle.
instead of uniting, some capitalized on chaos.
I like
Oh,
that
that
guy
guy
on the
looks
left, the Lich guy. That's Palawa Joko. He's been a character since Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, looks like a bad dude.
We dealt with him in Living World Season 4 in this game. And it was probably the peak of the story of this game so far.
But some of us fought back.
I feel that if I could kind of talk about the story so far, I feel the characters are good, but the plot points from point to point are kind of weak. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, like the story is just a little,
Yeah. The
just a
characters
little-
are really
Not
likable,
everyone made it.
but the
sometimes that
plot
can ca-
points kind of bore. Yeah, I don't know.
That can carry something sometimes, you know. If the characters are really good, sometimes you show up just for the characters, and then the story
yeah.
can just be
From an
whatever.
unexpected place.
There's
Although
a character who's voiced by the same voice actor that does Spike Spiegel.
We raised from an
In this in this game, it's Ritlock Brimstone. He's
Is it
voiced
that
by
dragon?
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
Spyro looking dude?
You know those like kind of bestial like cat people? He's one of those guys. He's there on the left, just briefly. Anyway, Ritlock is awesome. He's like my favorite character in this game.
The Lich monster?
five elder
No.
dragons.
That's who you said he was. You liked him.
Forward.
No, I
Oh,
like
God.
I like the Lich guy. That was Palawa Joko though.
Whole system
Oh.
more unstable.
I'm suffering from that problem when I boot up a Tails game for the first time right now.
You don't know. And the thing is, there's been 2 expansions and a base game before this, as well as the Guild Wars 1 story of like 3 expansions. This is an old story. I guess if you include Guild Wars 1, this is a story that's been running longer than like FF14's. But I'd also say that the main story on like a per expansion basis is quite a bit shorter than FF14's.
Guild Wars 1 going on back when, I mean, maybe I'm aging us.
Guild Wars
I think-
1 released the same year
but-
as WoW. The very first.
Don't know what
I was going to say, because we were like teenagers.
Yeah, it was about 6 months later.
Champion, I need to
Wow.
speak with you.
Okay, so we gotta talk to Orion.
It's wonderful to see you, even with Jor Mag
Okay.
gone. I
This is
know
neat.
serious still
It's neat seeing a game that's not Final Fantasy 14 for me, just because that's my MMO experience. And I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again now.
The world does feel different though.
You're the MMO guy.
Yeah.
I've never been into the way MMOs look. Their aesthetic has never got me. It just doesn't seem to be my vibe. The sort of Western fantasy thing. The reason why Final Fantasy is because I'm a huge Final Fantasy.
It's Final
fan.
Fantasy.
I've told you
that.
this many times. It's just like do I like the mechanics? I definitely do. But the reason why I can stay invested in it is because it's something that
It's
I am
Final
so
Fantasy.
familiar with.
Trust
Yeah.
me, that's what made me start FF14. But I had a history going back with MMOs that happened before that. So for me, it's like, yeah. I mean, I have a history with this game that goes,
Way back, right?
yeah, not as
And I can't see past it.
not as long. I have about 1,400 hours in this game and 3,000 in Guild Wars 1. So not as long as FF14. And as much as I kind of clown on this game sometimes, I do have an investment in it, you know, to
It's
see
neat.
what happens next and to.
I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't have the time to invest in this at this point, but like it looks good.
Mhm.
I like the weapon switching loadout thing. That's cool. I
It makes
dig that.
combat pretty dynamic and
Yeah,
keeps
'cause one
hotkeys
thing-
to a minimum.
Yeah, I like that because I find that with Final Fantasy. I mean, it's part of the game, but a lot of hotkeys, and you're sort of locked into what your role is, which is cool because you get to learn something really, really well and feel very skilled in your role. And there is, you know,
Oh, my guild member there. He has a yellow name.
oh, nice. There's opportunities for dynamic play, but it's sort of like, especially, I don't know, depending on what you're doing, sometimes you can just, you know, do the rotation, don't get hit by stuff, and that's kind of like the whole thing. So it's neat from that perspective to see a different MMO's approach to the same things that I'm used to.
I think it's a little awkward compared to FF14 that they let a lot of dialogue just happen in the world, because then there's like a crowd of players while myself, Timey, and Kaith are having a conversation.
Right.
Right.
Gorik got a message.
They used to always put dialogue in these screens where it would just show your two characters in like a painted background and dialogue down here. They did that during the main story, but when they switched to living story, they stopped doing that and started doing in-world.
She has some data. Would he like to see it?
So apparently, her former friend Gorik, who kind of worked for the bad guys of their race, got a message from another one called Anka, who she hasn't met, saying, Anka saying she has data that he would like to see it and she'll trade it to us. Doesn't specify what. Timey says that's suspicious.
She likes him.
Exactly.
Why do you care?
I don't know.
But you don't trust her.
Why should I?
I think it's pretty fun.
Why indeed?
It kind of has,
Are you
Worried for Gorik's
you know, it's very expressive. I enjoy that.
I'm worried for Gorik.
Oh, I'm sure she's fully animating. I can't really see her.
Want me to go find him?
Also,
have
it's
it-
fun to hear. It's fun to hear dialogue that's like,
Would you, please?
Final Fantasy 14 does the
Oh,
same
it's
thing
so
that, like,
it's so like I just realized what you're getting onto. The way that it's written is very in
Saturday
FF14
morning
it's very
cartoony.
like flowery language, and this one is very like straight up. Yeah.
You came.
Well, yeah, that's not a bad thing. It's just very different. I find 14 kind of does the same thing that Final Fantasy 12 did, where it's sort of like Game of Thrones-ish sort of fantasy dialogue,
Yeah.
but in Final Fantasy. Whereas this is like, yeah, they're speaking quite plainly.
These people are the newest race in this world. They weren't even in like Guild Wars 1 in any form, and they a centaur at the very end of Guild Wars 1 like planted a tree with like this weird special seed, and it's one of the playable races, by the way. Players can be them too, and they just like all grew out of this tree. They have like a dream while they're like saplings, and then they wake up as like fully formed people and are plant people.
But Aurene changed everything. I'm a parent of a sort.
Oh, she helped us take care of Aurene, who is also the youngest elder dragon, and one that we hand raised because we were given an egg to take care of.
Perspective have broadened.
This is actually an optional dialogue. If it's like this, it's an optional dialogue. See, it already says head to Lornar's Pass. And in this case, it's just going to be a bunch of options. I'm not super invested in the optional dialogues. There's a way to replay stuff anyway, so if I want to go back and comb for lore, I can do that. I'm going to keep things moving and head to the objective. So past expansions have always been like a couple of missions, unlock new area, unlock a few of the new features, and then like continuing from there is just basically for the purposes of story. And for the most part, you're usually free to like roam around and just do public events, do random stuff in the maps, whatever. So I'm going to try to get us into the new area and kind of see what's up. And the new area is actually, funny enough, it's an old area in a sense. Apparently we have an instance. Wait, I lost the prompt. Oh, the prompt is right here.
It looks a lot like Warcraft to me.
Does it?
More than Final Fantasy 14 does.
I would say it's, unlike Warcraft, though, it does still have like kind of a realistic presentation. Well, not realistic, but you know what I mean? Like Warcraft is very cartoony. Whereas this is
Yeah.
like,
This strikes me very much as like the kind of games that came out on like the original Xbox in 2006. I know the fidelity
That's
is better
fair.
than that, but just like the art direction
Yes,
reminds me
yes,
of games
yes.
that came out from that time period.
oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
'Cause-
Fable, not Fable.
No, Fable
specifically,
is actually very fair.
but games like that, yeah.
like Guild Wars 1 is even more like that.
Don't masticate.
Guild Wars 2 kind of diversified a little bit by adding in like, well, by advancing the world 250 years and adding in a bunch of new like races and stuff. These guys came up from underground.
We haven't spoken since.
This is the guy. See how we mentioned the Inquest? The Inquest are these are the Asura, and the Inquest is a faction of them that run experiments and stuff without any sort of oversight and have like no like moral limitations on them, and they're kind of like the rogue faction of their society. And this guy is a former Inquest, and
Who's talking for you? Sorry, not to interrupt, but
oh,
it's
so
like a
my character
nabbing
speaks.
fairy or something.
My character speaks, and remember Timey, the girl, one of those in the area we were just in? She's speaking to me on like a radio. So like sometimes there'll be a dialogue box over my character that's actually my character speaking. You can see some of that here, and sometimes it was Timey on the radio. A little confusing, I guess.
Wait, your character actually has spoken lines of dialogue?
So that's Kate over the radio, Timey over the radio, my character.
Right back at you.
Yes.
So when you pick a voice, when you make a character, they've recorded like the same
All of the
dialogue.
dialogue. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
There's also dialogues that differ depending on your character. I did, for example, see a little bit of footage of someone else playing, and they were a Char, which are those big beast ones or whatever. And in a scene with a boat in the new expansion, a guy in the new area who hasn't seen Char before is talking about how he has a cat, and he's like, "You're kind of like," and then the player character's like, "No, don't even ask." And I'm sure that dialogue will be completely different because my character's a human.
I made that.
Maybe it feels like a weird thing to get impressed about on a first impression from my viewpoint, because my first impression here is of this game, not necessarily of the expansion, but
Right.
the dialogue thing's interesting. Just because, once again, I'm so used to being silent in Final Fantasy 14, and because my character literally looks like a cowboy,
Right.
who's like 6'5", I'm used to cutscenes being hilarious.
And he just nods.
And my eighth.
Yes, he looks pretty.
Uh-oh. She just revealed that she's an Aether Blade. Oh my god.
What does that mean?
Aether Blade. Oh, and she just trapped him and teleported him away, and I'm getting ambushed here. Aether Blades are a kind of like a weird sort of pirate faction that are like kind of opportunistic and sort of like I don't know if like they're like evil or if they're just like kind of like without any remorse or like whatever, like opportunity. You know what I mean? Like I'm not actually even sure.
Okay. They do their own thing. They're
Yeah.
like
They're basically like sky pirates. Like they just took off in a ship. Oh, there's Aurene. What the? Hi, Aurene.
We'll catch Maureen Hold'em. We need a plan. There's no time. They took Gorik.
You can come with me.
So we met up with their contact, brought Gorik along with us. Well, Gorik's contact, and yeah, she just revealed.
kidnapped.
Yeah.
And champion.
So Aurene has some kind of remorse from an event in a prior thing where she didn't come with us and we kind of lost. And so Aurene showed up now and we said we don't have a plan, we're not prepared. And she said, I don't care, we're doing it together this time, Scion and Champion.
So is this a?
Yeah, Aurene said you can come with me or I can go alone. Either way, but I'm not staying out of the fight this time. No, this is like a solo instance.
Oh, okay. Because this looks got some good verticality. Are you gonna jump between these ships?
They've certainly been busy. Where did they get all these airships?
I don't have an objective yet. Okay, check inside the ship.
This is cool. I like that this instance is is like involved. You know, like there's stuff going on. It feels like a story beat from a. Sounds weird to say from a video game because it's a video game, but you know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I find that sometimes MMO instances are kind of like it happens on the same map, and it's just sort of like a thing you have to do. So this is interesting. This is like a whole level. Does that make sense to say?
Oh, airship console. Yeah, it makes sense. I think I'm gonna put Blink on my bar actually. All right, I am downloading data from the console.
Charts. They don't make any sense. Why would the Aether Blades go to...
Oh,
I have to get off this thing.
why?
You're gonna have to
I
jump.
think it got hit. Hit into that one.
How am I gonna jump? Like literally jump?
That's cool.
Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, but we also have a glider that we got in the second expansion, and I can't activate it in this instance. Okay. I really like this that shatter that's making blades spin around me. It's pretty cool.
Does that do damage in like an AoE around you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's like the Bible in
It's the F4
Castlevania.
one here. That's a pretty fair comparison, yeah.
Reading some crazy
Oh, it took control of my camera.
See anything strange?
That looks like a graphical...
Heading into the mists.
Oh, it's like a portal.
Help you in there. Come
The mists are kind of a weird sort of mix of like an afterlife and like a alternate dimension. Like you can go there under certain circumstances even as a living...
I have no way to get to the next ship.
I mean, like the far plane.
I think you'll enjoy this.
Kind of. This is like a duty action. Use Orion's power to cross the gap.
The power gonna be. Oh,
It's
sick.
like a jump.
This is cool.
I'm a little lost playing this new spec because I don't necessarily have it all memorized. Like I did read the tooltips, so I don't have it all memorized. So I'm kind of surprising myself with some of these buttons. Am I supposed to move to another ship? Continue moving from ship to ship.
I think you
Okay.
can platform on those guys.
To where? To that one or to these?
No, to those circle guys going up.
These
and down.
things, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me try it when it gets a bit lower here. Seems like it. Whoa. For a second there, I thought I was going to fall. Didn't that look really strange?
Yeah, that was a.
I can actually
Close.
pick up the Aether Cannon. Fired at the other guy. Oh, okay, that one-shot him. But now, where would I go from here? Oh, am I going up to that? Oh, I see where I'm going now. And probably just
Picking
go
where to
straight there.
jump. I'm not quite getting it. Are you clicking? Is it like a?
It's
Oh.
like a ground-targeted thing.
Oh,
Like,
okay, cool.
I'll kind of do it slowly next time.
No.
Or it's actually a lot like using this skill or this skill. How like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of the skills have these like kind of ground targeted indicators and stuff. Oh shoot. Okay. This is a very old character. We haven't seen her in a long time. She's asking us to call off our dragon and surrender. She's their captain of the Aether Blades.
Thinks I'm your pet.
Oh damn, that was cool.
So are they traveling through this rift thing because it's faster? Is it like hyperspace lanes?
It can
in Star
be
Wars?
very hard. It can be very hard to chase people through the mists and stuff like that. It can be very hard to navigate them. So I think they're trying to make a getaway.
I see.
We also have a dodge, which is what this yellow meter is, and it has iframes. Can I make it to there? Oh, apparently I can. I got. Oh god. Oh, I think there's like a protection that as long as I pressed it, no matter how the thing hovers up or down, it won't let me fall. As long as like my targeted, like destination of my jump was on the deck. You know what I mean? And that's why it looked so strange. I think that's what that was. This heal is really cool. The heal that this subclass has like it throws two daggers. It's like it'll heal me, and then if one of the daggers hits, what does it do? It removes conditions, and the second one hits, it gives me Aegis, which is a buff, and one additional boon at random.
Sick.
I think at random. Yeah, there's a big list of boons, so it must be at random. Wait, how do I activate the console? Oh, I think I did.
It's up there, isn't it? Is it the front like the other one?
Yeah, I think there was something behind me, or that I'm. Oh, it's destroy. Okay, that's why. Oh, I can't leave this room. Oh, okay, yeah. I get what's going on. I'm destroying multiple consoles here.
That one's the Xbox.
Oh God, I
Now you're
teleported
destroying
into the wall.
Now to find the right
Sega
ship.
Dreamcast. All the consoles are destroyed.
Okay, where am I
Gamer
going?
humor.
Oh, okay. It's telling me. Yeah, destroyed all the consoles. Do you think I can just make that jump naturally? Do you think I should? No, there's no cooldown on this thing. I should just go.
Yeah, just use it. Why would you not?
I thought I just assumed there was a cooldown. I hadn't even really looked at it.
Oh, that guy's bigger.
He's a char. He's one of those big kind of cat dudes. I have a character that's one of those. My elementalist is one of those, but in this game I don't really play my alts very much. I kind of just play this character. It's sort of like the I'm a FF14 player now effect. I'm like very anti like having alts if I don't have to, even though we don't have multiple classes on one character like in that game. So it's like, I'm kind of like, I'll just learn all the Mesmer specs and be able to play all of them, or else. Find a way to reposition the ship, okay. Piss off, Commander? I didn't hear that one in the voice acting.
Cool.
Now what?
Neat instance. This is like a high octane
Oh!
moment here.
Going this way? I'm a little
I think you want to get
unsure.
on that.
Oh! Okay, you can fall. Okay. Okay, Aurene
Oh,
saved me, I guess.
They're quite forgiving. Maybe you want to walk to the end of the mast here?
Yeah, it seems like that's probably... Yeah, that's definitely the play.
How's she doing that?
Or
What's going on?
Who told you to press the extractor? I gave a direct order not to use it.
Wait, what? Oh.
Comm is broken.
Tricky.
Damn it. We don't even know what that thing does.
Okay.
Is it... How long ago?
I'm on fire.
Almost ready, Captain.
you sure are.
Was I supposed to do that?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I think not. I'm also getting hit. Oh, maybe not. I thought I saw an AoE here. I don't think I was supposed to do that. Because
No,
now I'm sort of stranded out here.
No, I think you're good. I thought it wanted you to go to the other way.
Whoa. Aurene
Yeah.
is going crazy. Think I can make it to... Oh my god, this thing has so much range. Every time I'm like, there's nothing around me, it's like it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill the
Pretty
veteran
forgiving
one
with
first. Oh, with the distance on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really
Is it?
cool. It makes like a sword fall from the sky.
This is going to be a weird comparison, but this is giving me like vague Star Wars vibes. Can't quite say why. It's just all the jumping between ships in. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't really tell if this is the ship that I'm headed to.
Yeah, you're moving in the right direction because you're trying to get to that big one, right?
I think so. Oh, that...
Timey, we're out of the mist.
Okay. Oh, we were in the... Okay, so in this case, yes, the mists were kind of used as like a hyper
Some kind of landmass in
speed
the
space
distance.
thing.
Timey?
Do I have a position on the map that can tell me? No.
Must be out of comms range.
I'm pretty sure it's Cantha. I mean, the whole premise of this expansion is we're going back to Cantha from Guild Wars Factions, from Guild Wars 1.
I see, I see.
Cantha has been like closed, like politically like the leadership of Cantha has like closed off the country for the
Actually,
past
in the water now?
several hundred years. No, we're hovering just above the water. Oh, that one's kind of touching the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Continue moving from ship to ship. Oh, there's Anka. There's our oh, no line. Oh, that one actually canceled my jump for no line of sight. This is our inform. Oh, she just disappeared. Oh, she said bye. I missed that. I thought that was my character saying hi, and then it was Anka saying bye. Oops, I pressed the duty action.
I don't know why you say hello. I say goodbye.
What do you want to know?
As the Beatles once said.
So far, this is a pretty good start. The last expansion had us like fly into the desert and like explore a pyramid at the beginning.
This is same big,
Which was
you know,
pretty cool, but it wasn't like this. Yeah, this is like really eventful. We kind of
that's
like,
awesome.
yeah. Oh, here's our buddy.
I can't believe Anka would do this. Joining the Aether Blades? Kidnapping? What's gotten into her?
We can talk about that later. Right now, we have to get off
See
the
my
ship.
character talking.
Used to be so
I think no matter what type of character you have, you have a very stern personality. It's very strange.
Really? No time for nonsense.
Yeah, the character is extremely like very stern, very serious, very like competent and capable sounding, but like pretty intense most of the time. Okay, this is that's not the spell I wanted to use. Okay, that's great. I wanted to just blink forward. It's forcing my camera again. Oh. Uh-oh. Our dragon buddy's getting blasted. Wait, what is that? No, it's not shooting her. It's like pulling.
Tractor beam.
Whoa. I feel... Oh, God. The camera got a little janky. I feel like the camera should have tracked the fall. Like, if they were trying to be really cinematic and do it even better than that. You know? Why am I dying?
I think it was on purpose.
Might have been, yeah. You know, you've played, like, Borderlands, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know in Borderlands how you, like, don't really die, you, like, go down and then you die?
There's that mechanic in this.
Pretty much entirely, yeah. And you can, like, pick up your allies and stuff, too. So there's, like, no dedicated healer. Well, there's sort of, like, healer specs now, but when the game launched, there wasn't, and it kind of, like, doesn't use the Holy Trinity. You know? Like, it doesn't truly do the tank healer DPS thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's new. I don't know who this is.
That's Jeff. You don't know Jeff?
I'm going to say I kind of doubt his detention facility. Uh-oh.
Doubt his name is Jeff?
I doubt his name is Jeff. That's Gorik in the concept art, the guy who we just freed.
Last thing we need is a dead mainlander. Probably stick us in more detail.
Okay.
Good detail. Tell me morgue.
What the hell is that one anyway? Search me. Those teeth, those ears. So they're not familiar with Asura, such as Gorik. I said I don't know. The detective will have an update when it's all sorted out.
Unacceptable. I want my comms call. We have a right to counsel.
Huh. How long were you out for?
Commander, you're awake. You've been out for so much to... You won't believe where we... Whew. Slow down. Okay, first things first.
There's a journal here. That's curious.
After Amnoon, I swore I'd never go back in. One time, unfortunate misunderstanding. 2 times, I start to question myself. Prison changes you. I'm not built for hard time, Commander. There's still so much to learn, so much science to be done. Never even got a chance to tell.
He's panicking.
I won't die in this cell, you hear me? I won't. Jail my body, but my mind is free. Okay, calm down, everyone.
He's doing a real philosophical tour there.
Find some, we can hone it into
Scrap metal. If we can find some, we can hone it into a shiv.
dominance.
Wait, what?
Find the biggest, most intimidating inmate and stab him in the carotid artery in front of the whole cafeteria. Oh, but if we do, then what have we become?
Okay, he's really freaking out.
Yeah, he's spiraling.
All along?
Keys hanging. Reach for the key. Out of reach.
Feels you? No. We
Use your
do what we must to
foot
stay
key?
alive. In the insect,
Oh, I think the joke
there
is like
no
kick it.
morality. Only the strongest survive, and so shall we. We must be as ruthless as the beetle, as deadly as the mantis.
Take a roll of bandages?
The roach.
What am I supposed to
Try to
do?
get the key. Oh, you should wrap him up so he stops talking.
Try to hook the...
Outsiders.
Oh. Okay.
Time's up. Are we being executed?
What? What's the matter with you? Your friends negotiated your release.
Our friends?
What?
Follow me. And no funny business. You're still in my custody.
Follow
Officer,
Jeff.
may I ask your
Oh, we got
Oh.
his name now.
Rama. Detective Rama.
Detective,
Jeff
My
Rama.
name is Gorik. I'm
Yeah,
an
I don't
entomologist.
need your life story. You washed up on my beach. Give me a
Oh.
ton of paperwork.
These guys are Tengu.
Is, I have at times been
And,
at odds with the law. In fact, I was
I don't know,
charged
they're pretty
with
cool.
Terrorism in Amnoon.
He grew a beetle in his arm.
Staying busy
That's
with
actually
that?
true. He did. He grew like a plague scarab in his... This guy's weird, okay?
Signing this, you affirm that the Ministry of Security has treated you fairly and humanely, that you've suffered no unreasonable bodily harm during your arrest and detainment. You first, bioterrorist.
Wait, define bodily harm. I stubbed my toe last night.
Sign the damn form.
I actually don't mind the writing in this. This is kind of fun.
Oh my god, he jumped on the desk to sign a form?
Now you.
If you could jump on a desk to sign a form,
Okay, you
would
know
you
what?
not take that opportunity?
I will do that.
You can collect your
I mean in
personal
real
effects in the box
life.
there.
Retrieve your belongings.
We hope you enjoyed your stay at the Xingjie Detention Center. Now, if you'll follow me. Akane, hold down the fort.
Roger that. Xingjie?
I was trying to tell you, Commander.
Xingjie is
The
where
airship crash-landed in-
you start in Guild Wars factions if you start in that. In Guild Wars 1, the expansions were actually like campaigns, and you could start in any of them.
I don't.
And you could also purchase like only one of them and have it standalone.
Interesting.
So you didn't have to buy like the original version of the game and then like the thing. I mean, eventually, if you want to go to every place and get everything, you would need it all. And you add it all to the same account, and then you can travel between them and stuff. But your character would like start in one or the other or the other.
Curiously reminiscent of our
This game's not like that. This game's like
Has
traditional
Kemba been
expansions.
trading with Radasun?
Which part of we've been closed to the outside world for over 100 years did you not understand? And we're here.
ArenaNet presents.
Welcome.
This is the late title card. That's cool. That's a good opening though.
You know, they've never done this before. Title cards shot like this. Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire didn't have that.
Maybe they're
trying something new.
I mean, that looks a lot like the Great Wall in Doma.
Our Minister of Security wants
The
to
big
speak
gate.
with you after.
True.
You know?
Talk to Casimir. Where is she?
So how'd your friends get here?
I'm assuming on other ships or something. They followed behind after Aureen was like, let's go.
Jory,
This character is really cool. She talks like a noir detective. She's very funny.
Have you heard anything about Aureen? Is she?
She's fine. Recovering. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. So Dragon's not dead.
You'll see her soon. It's okay to take a moment to find your bearings. After we heard about what happened, we were so... Anyway, took a little while, but it all worked out. Sort of.
I'm still missing some pieces. How did you find us?
Find you? You kind of caused
A hot, steaming mess of a circus show?
an international incident. Jenna sent me to smooth
The
things.
human queen.
And no way would I let Jory miss the opportunity of a lifetime.
Marjorie's family is from
Not like
here.
I ever expected
Like
to
she's like
see
a
this
Canthan
place.
descendant, but she was of course living in the mainland and not here, and this place has been closed off. So
Commander, they'll be
I guess
Okay.
that's like her incentive to come be
That
here.
man wanted to
These
see
two are a couple, and also she's some kind of she's like a noble, but kind of like a disgraced noble or something. But the queen, the human queen, is very like fair and like it's not your fault and stuff. So Casimir has been able to get some kind of clout with the queen, which is why she's able to be here on orders or whatever.
You're the commander I've been hearing so much about.
Minister
Yes, I
Lee.
am.
I have like the first person camera disabled. You know, in 14 you can zoom all the way into first person. I have that disabled in this game. It does exist, but it annoys me in gameplay because the scroll in and out is so fast.
I
Oh,
suppose I've
see.
got you to thank for that.
This is definitely a better start. So, okay, so just to be a little bit, like, to talk about what we've actually seen so far, like, this is definitely a more impressive start than the prior expansions or the base storyline of this game has. Like,
Yeah,
so far so good for, like, launching us into action right away, getting us to the new, like, place and showing us a cool title card and the area and everything.
Understood, Minister.
Are you gonna play through it? I mean, I'm assuming you are, but
Yeah,
like, are you
I've played-
Are you excited to see where the story goes?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know. So remember how there was those elder dragons we were talking about?
Yeah.
Besides Aureen, there's one more left, and it's sort of like the water, like deep sea dragon, and it's suspected to be around here. So fishing is a new mechanic of this expansion. It looks like I'm getting my first fishing rod right now. So that's interesting. Grants 1,000 karma and a wooden lure and unlocks the fishing mastery track. This was mixed in with your belongings when they were returned. Rama and Akane didn't want it back, so it's yours now. Cool.
Nice.
New mastery. Oh my god, a bunch of things are popping up at once. Okay, I got a mastery point for End of Dragons. So this is how Guild Wars 2 deals with not increasing the level cap. The level cap has been 80 since the game came out years and years ago, and it's still 80. Instead, after level 80, your XP bar, which is at the bottom of the screen here, every time it fills up, you get like the ability to like upgrade a mastery. So you see how the XP bar, that like this is the same XP bar for like Fishing Hole Master, and it'll cost me 2
Okay.
mastery points once the XP bar is filled to like unlock this, right? And so like I can actually click between them, and like my XP bar apparently
change.
It says stuff is
Like
on.
it's like whatever
these
you're
are separate.
working on?
Yeah, exactly. And then
And you can only work on
kinda-
one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you gotta pick. It's like jobs in Final Fantasy. You gotta pick which one you're kind of working on, and
Yeah, more or less.
put all your XP into that. But you can do it so you don't have to change your class to do this though, right?
No, you can't
but
change
you
your
can-
class. This isn't. That's a very FF14 feature. Like no other MMO lets you do that.
Right, but I guess what I mean here is that you can. So like you
Oh,
got
cool.
this fishing one you're working on, but you can just go about and do regular stuff and get fishing experience, basically, right?
Yeah. So that can just go to material storage, whatever that. I don't even know what that is, but that's interesting. 3 bags of loot, deluxe gearbox. Okay, that's just junk, whatever. And that's the solo instance is done. This is open zone now,
Tiny,
right?
They've released the commander. Gorg, too.
Good.
Nice.
I look forward to telling Gorak how much of a choya brain he was for trusting Anka.
To be fair,
A Choya brain?
all agreed to the plan.
Yeah, if by agreed you mean went along
What
with
is
it and
that?
told you the whole time it was a bad idea. Yeah, but you're right. We did.
So we're listening to a radio conversation, of course, right?
The commander. Ori
If they say commander, they're talking about my character who in the base story became what was called the Pact Commander and has basically just been vaguely called commander the whole time. They needed something to call us in the voice acting, I guess, right?
Don't forget, you need to meet
Yep.
with Detective Rama as well.
Okay, so I have 2 objectives, and I'm just straight up in an open map now. They're defogged in sections, so this map looks like it's probably about this big. There's all kinds of like things. Well, I kind of want to do a jumping puzzle if I can be honest. It'd be really cool to find a jumping puzzle. Raptor taxi. Talk to Rama at the training ground. So that's pretty far away. And where's the other objective? Right here. Find a fisherman to guide you to Orion's cave. Village waypoint. I'd like to try fishing too. That'd be pretty cool. These are vistas. They're one of the things you can collect on maps. Get a little bit XP for watching a camera pan around and show you the area. Might as well look at it.
Cool. Nice little way to show off the different environments and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So Kantha, if it's not obvious by now, is like super inspired by like Asian culture.
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of throws a bit of everything in. One of those sort of things. I think that's pretty much what happens when like Western developers do that kind of thing.
The way that zooms out and then zooms back in is cool.
Oh, the map, you mean?
Like how it goes like bird's eye view above you, and then kind of like it's like if you zoom.
Oh,
in,
it does that.
goes up.
I think only if I'm on foot though. Yeah, I see what you mean though.
That's cool.
It doesn't do that if you're mounted. They actually should make it do that if you're mounted. It's kind of weird that it doesn't. I never really realized that until I tried doing it again. I didn't even notice that detail myself. Jade bot workbench. I know that the Jade bot thing or whatever is like a new mechanic. Oh, you can get one of these as a mount eventually, a siege turtle, and apparently it's like a 2 or 3 seater and can fire cannons and stuff like that. It's really crazy. I don't know when I'll be able to get one, but it seems pretty cool. Jade battery, Jade tech defensive protocol. What is this? Jade technology. You've encountered Jade technology. It requires a Jade bot to make use of it. Unlock the Jade bot mastery line. It's locked. Complete the chapter The Scenic Route and End of Dragon's Story. So there's stuff that's still locked behind story. Complete Arborstone revitalization. Turtle mount. Skiff piloting. Skiffs are like little boats. That's pretty cool stuff. Now you get to see gliding for the first time, I guess.
Music's neat.
Yeah, the compositions are very like orchestral in this game. The base game's soundtrack was done by Jeremy Soule, and so the new composers who took over for the expansions have basically like kept things within the bounds of like very orchestral, very like, you know.
Your standard fantasy fare.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's not as like exciting as like the FF14 soundtrack where it's like very like bombastic and some songs are straight up like pop songs and there's like all these different genres mixed in. This is very like your standard Western fantasy game, like stick to the to the plan of soundtracks.
I mean, that stuff is, to be honest, a little bit.
This is the scene that I saw where this guy alluded to the main character being cat-like. I want to see how this goes. So far, the conversation has gone the same. He has I'm secretly a god. He's hyped about the fact that I have a dragon for a friend. So that part has been the same. This is different.
No. Why?
Well, I'm Crichton, you see, and my dad.
Kryta is from the mainland.
Recipe died with him, though. Anyway, I figured it was a long shot. Sure could go for a slice right now.
Well, now that the borders are open, maybe you'll have a chance to visit and eat some fresh.
Huh.
Sure hope
Yeah,
so.
so that makes sense to talk about like food from like where humans are from to a human character. So there's probably a completely different conversation depending on what race your character is, because the I have a cat at home one is pretty funny. Like that was a friendly conversation. The one he had with the Char character was like kind of not antagonistic, but like it didn't go so well.
So good to see you walking free again. Yeah, what was it like? You know, in the slammer. Do you get any prison tattoos?
Okay, that's enough fun at my expense. Now, where's Aureen?
Obviously in
She's
here.
inside, resting up. Don't worry.
Literally we just got here and our dragon has already crystallized part of the...
Is that what they do?
Oh, well, like I said, they're like forces of nature. I don't even think Aureen could help it if she didn't want to.
Oh, I see.
Left us no clue how it works.
Aureen is a relatively young and new elder dragon.
A new elder dragon?
Yeah, so an elder dragon doesn't necessarily mean that it's old. It's like a type of
Right. Yeah,
thing.
that makes sense.
She's like Aureen is like the daughter of Glint, who is like the daughter of Kralkatorrik, who was the elder dragon of like crystals, but his was all like dark purple and very like electric and like would like transform beings that were under his influence and stuff like that. And so we ended up like defeating Kralkatorrik, and we had this like egg, and so I think because of the I don't know how it works, but somehow Aureen ended up being an elder dragon.
Fair.
Something is missing.
I'm a little bit
Commander,
it's been a couple years since I last played story in this game, as well as my lore knowledge could definitely be brushed up on. Like I don't necessarily know how that works. I just know it like happened in the story. It might have been brushed over, and there probably was like some like extra dialogues or some book I could have read to find out.
Does this have supplementary material that's outside of...
There's been a couple books that bridged because there's like 250 years between Guild Wars 1 and 2. So there was a couple of books that belonged in the middle. But the context of that can also be found in the game too. To start fishing, use the cast line skill. I watched the like hour-long developer stream today that was like right before the patch went out. And they said, I'm pretty sure I can drop this and call it back, because they said they specifically picked J as the hotkey for fishing. Yep, and it's J, because the letter J looks like a hook.
Yeah, why not? That makes sense.
I thought that was funny. So I'm supposed to catch a fish. So I cast... Oh, whoops, I actually walked into the water. So I like cast my line.
Kind of like an AoE attack?
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, this is a completely new feature to Ender Dragons. When you see... Oh, so I'm supposed to watch for splashing around the bobber. And then... Is that it? Oh, God, what? Oh, I'm supposed to... You see the yellow background part. That's the part I'm moving. Oh, my God.
Every single game does fishing minigames differently. You know?
Yeah.
I'm never sure which ones I like the best.
This is kind of similar to what Genshin and what like early Stardew fishing is like. Okay.
I enjoyed
what did Oh my God, it's huge.
I enjoyed the near replicant fishing. That was fun.
Oh, with the pod. Oh wait, replicant.
Yeah.
I didn't fish in replicant. I fished in Automata with the pod.
Oh man, you gotta fish in replicant. There's some quests that require it.
Same in Automata. One of the best like weapons you can get, I think, involves a lot of fishing.
I think you have to fish to get all of the weapons in replicant, and getting all the weapons gives you the real ending, so I did it.
could be an ancient
What
dragon
else is-
marine, and I would still come with fish.
I'm trying to think here.
That might be optimistic, given your lifespan.
Can't remember if I did much fishing in Final Fantasy 15.
I will enjoy this.
Oh, wasn't it really good in 15?
I apologize.
I think so. I didn't do much of it though.
It's really involved in 14. There's like hundreds of varieties of fish, and it's like the right time of day and the right place and the right weather and stuff can all like influence which fish you can find. And
I had no idea.
oh,
Like
it's
it's just like it's like the mahjong in that game. It's just like it's not something I interact with, so I'm always impressed at how complete it is.
You're gonna have to get over that.
there's tons of fish.
What was that weapon Ava Blades used? Any ideas?
I'm actually looking it up. There are
None.
there's as of 5.35 there was 1,091 different types of fish in FF14.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Wow.
Has told you about that. Have fun.
So I need to reread this log. I wasn't listening. What was the weapon the Aether Blades used? Not. And we find out. Talk with Rama. See if he knows anything we don't. Okay, so the weapon that they used on Aurene like drained her magic. So she's alive, but she says that she has a hollow feeling as if something is missing. So Aurene was kind of like our like OP, like we have a dragon on our side kind of thing. So this is an interesting way to sort of like disempower us at the start of a new expansion as well. Like we're kind of just back to our own self. We don't really have like Aurene to do all our stuff for us. Actually, one of the things in the past section of story before this in Icebrood Saga involved like some people from a different faction being like upset that we had like this dragon, and they wanted to like make a pact with one of the existing elder dragons, which went like obviously horribly wrong. I know you've been very busy with the Charn's actions and killing elder dragons, but I think you might want to pay a visit to Eye of the North. Something seems to be bothering Aurene. What? But Aurene is here. I'm confused. Why would I go? What? Is that actually what the story wants me to do? No, talk to Ram at the training grounds. I feel like that letter is confused.
Could it just be like one of those things
that
where-
letter legit might be the letter that was supposed to start the expansion.
How did you start it without it then?
Because I went to my character menu and I went to the story section and there was like a start button here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you knew this too. This game has like underwater like swimming and combat and stuff.
Combat.
Yeah. Is there anything I can fight? Let's fight this jellyfish. It looked at me funny. I was like too far away, just swinging blindly.
That's
Underwater
cool.
combat is a little bit it's a little bit tough. So for the most part the developers kind of avoid like they don't really involve it in like raids or like anything really high end like that. There is one fractal, which is like a type of high end scaling dungeon system. There's one fractal that's like underwater. This is pretty cool. They gave us a chance to try out the fishing like pretty early on, which is interesting. I know that the fishing has like a group mechanic too. Your fishing power stat, and that's literally what it's called, like increases if you're in a party with other people and you're all fishing together on a boat. Oh, hero challenge.
That's fun.
Let's see what the hero challenge is.
To begin your final test, please proceed forward to the examination arena.
Yeah, let's do it.
For death, dismemberment, or other minor injuries sustained during this test, please locate
Wait, is it fighting you? Why?
It's a combat test.
enemy detected. Threat assessment.
Oh, I just shot my thing in the wrong direction. I think it's hitting it still. See, I don't have to actually get out of that circle. If I dodge within it, I have iframes. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
It's not quite like 14 where it's like you have to get out of the circle. And in this game, if you time the dodge, you're okay as well. So I got a hero point off that. Remember those points that I had several hundred of that I used to like max up my spec? So right off the bat, I also just immediately don't need hero points anymore. Like I don't need hero points until next expansion. So like I don't actually need to do that. But that's sort of just what happens when you've been playing a long time and you just like build up tons and tons of them. It's just sort of like a a funny thing that happens in progression. But these masteries are way more important.
So is getting ready, like if you want to do end game content in this, is getting ready for it easier because of all of this, or is it like Final Fantasy and that you have to get gear and you have to, you know, learn the fights, or is its like raid structure and end game content different?
I just got incidentally hit by that. Somebody else doing the same mastery point.
Assuming everything's in working order and
gear in this game is in like rarities. So like if we look at the trading post, for example, this is like the market board. And if we go to like, I don't know, buy weapons, then you can see this like orange rarity? That's exotic. And so the exotic rarity, this is obviously really expensive because it's like a super expensive skin, but like you can see this focus is like 1 gold, and this is power precision ferocity. So this is berserkers, right? Like the only reason this one's expensive is because it looks cool. Yeah. Okay. But you can buy like this is, what is it, a sword? The stats on it aren't great, but I'm sure there's like a sword with like better, like a preferable stat spread. It's like prefixes and suffixes. You just can't see it on weapons that have a name like this. But like you could look at like berserkers. Here. You probably see like berserkers pearl conch has the exact same stats. So like berserkers is a prefix. It means like power, precision, ferocity, and that's like a really popular one. Like a lot of builds use that. But there's tons of other. There's tons of other. I'm only focusing on berserkers because the class I play is primarily like DPS specs. So like we would play like berserkers and assassins, a combination thereof. And then this pink spec rarity is above the orange one and has like a few more stats like per slot or whatever. But if you buy the exotics, the orange stuff, for like all your slots, you're like good to go for end game, and it would cost you like just a small amount of gold. You might not be able to deck yourselves out in the correct like runes, which are modifiers for your equipment, but you get pretty set up. Oh, this character wants to see a combo field and finisher. I don't really see the point in doing that. Oh, so these are hearts too. I don't know if you've seen this. This game doesn't really use... It's like tutorialing Defiance bars, which is actually really cool because this is like sometimes bosses and stuff go into a mode where one of these bars pops up, and you have to like deplete that bar to like proceed to the next step of the fight, or like you might enrage or whatever, things like that. Or like something bad might happen. You might stop like a big attack, or...
It's like a stagger meter kind of?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. That's a good way to think of it. And a lot of players who are like very casual at this game like fail to do these mechanics correctly because the game never tutorialized it properly. So this is really cool to see that they put that there.
Right.
These are hearts, and they're kind of like quests, except I don't actually have to talk to her first. You can see the heart right here, earn the monastery's trust by purchasing... Oh, so this heart literally asks you to do tutorials, and you'll fill it up. And hearts are basically like the replacement for quests. You just participate by like being in the area.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to take it. You can accidentally clear a bunch of them by just playing the game, and then
you don't have to return it. You don't even have to return it either. You just get the rewards when it's completed. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm just going to join in on this. I have no idea what it is. Well, it's an event. Help the students win their training match. And oftentimes events that exist within the area of hearts will fill the heart as well. The game's meant to like kind of like incidentally put players on the same side as each other, just being an open world. Like it's like designed for like encouraging multiplayer combat scenarios like kind of automatically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's fostering an environment of jolly cooperation.
Yeah, one of the things this game does way better than FF14 is like having an open world that's like fun to go around and do things and play in. Because 14's open world kind of like stops existing after the main story, you know what I mean? Unless you do like certain things like hunts, or you specifically try to do like fates, rare fates and stuff like that. But for the most part, there's like not a ton of open world stuff to do. The best open world content in 14 is literally instanced, aka like Bosnia Eureka.
Oh yeah, that stuff rules. I know what you mean. There's not like once you're at the end of an expansion, there's not usually any challenge to moving about an open world. It's just something you have to do to interface with whatever content you're trying to do.
I
See, I got a portion of the heart for doing that. And I got some rewards for the event as well. Anyway. Oh, even the story wants me to do this. Okay, they really want me to do these tutorials. Like, the story now says break the defiance of the training mech, perform combo actions for the trainer, dodge 5 attacks in a row from trainer Stonefist. So to break the defiance bar, I should go to this weapon set. Let's do that first. Okay. So usually any kind of CC will break defiance bar. Oh, well, I did that really quick. That's because I know how to do it, I guess. So anything that would push or pull an enemy, if they have a defiance bar up, it probably won't do that. Okay, so I need to do a combo field. So that's combo field light. Do I have something that's a combo finisher? Combo finisher leap. Okay, so in 6 seconds, I'm just going to put that down and try to leap inside of it.
Certainly you have some moves that can be used.
Okay, so there's a field. There's a finisher. Oh, okay. For the purposes of the quest, it's done.
Okay. Okay.
That's a weird mechanic, the combo fields and finishers. If you use certain skills that are finishers inside of fields, you can like produce buffs or produce debuffs on enemies or like weird effects like that. And they work between you and your teammates as well.
Who lays the field down?
Oh, it just buttons that make a field, usually. Like that one, for example.
I see.
I'm supposed to be dodging or blocking his attacks. Oh, I think I need to stand in it and actually produce... Oh, okay, I got hit. I think I need to be in it so that it says dodged. I'm not reading the timing correctly, though. I can use my sword button here. Oh, I didn't do it right. Okay, let's get the next one. That's definitely what he wants me to do, though. He wants me to evade or block or dodge. Nope.
Well, you're trying, and that's the important part.
There we go. Did that work? It said evaded. Let's try it again. It said evaded.
There you go.
I'm getting progress in the heart. Oh, dodge 5 attacks in a row. I see. Damn.
Well, he kicked you.
Damn. I'm apparently really bad at this. Okay. That sword attack has an evade on it, by the way. That's why I'm able to use that instead of a dodge.
Okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Apparently I really needed this tutorial.
Channel your inner from souls.
Yeesh. I didn't know when it was going to go off. He hasn't used that one in like 8. I didn't have enough dodge energy to actually dodge that one. Come on. It's earlier than I would think it would be for this attack in particular.
Yeah. He's like Bones from the first Spider-Man movie. Saw's ready. I got you for 3 minutes.
Can I get the quest progress, please? It specifically says dodge 5 attacks in a row, so maybe using that sword skill is what's upsetting it, and I should just only go in this when I have my dodge meter. Like, I'm not going to go in that one right now.
How long does it take for dodge to come back?
Oh, I just kind of dodged out of that one before it even happened. I don't know, as long as this meter takes to fill up. Oh, come on. What is this? Okay. It's from that event earlier. I just never claimed it. Come on, buddy. I think I can tell it worked because this seemed to update when I did it. What do you mean? Oh. I'm getting too, like, antsy. Nope, I don't have any meter for that. I'm just gonna step out.
Why wouldn't they just make it like dodge 2 attacks in a row?
I don't really know. I think I'm being kind of silly here. I don't need to roll when I dodge. I can just like let it dodge me backward. I should stop forward rolling. I think that's my problem. Really? But I didn't actually get hit by it. Is this like actually causing anybody problems during this thing, or am I just being like really stupid? Why does he just kick me like that?
No idea.
Utilize blocks and dodges. Do I need a block?
Yeah, could you be blocking instead of dodging? Or could you like alternate them?
I don't like have a block, I think, do I? This has a block. No, it has a bubble. And only for projectiles. Block your foe and create an illusion when attacked. I knew that. Okay, I just started throwing knives at him. I don't need to be auto-attacking him. Please, like, stop. What do I do? Stow my weapon? Like, Jesus. It's distracting me from dodging. That was too soon. It still said evaded. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I got my quest objective. I don't care. Like, several of those I didn't get hit by, and the objective was, like, not advancing. So I don't know if it... I think it literally needed to be 5 in a row. I think it wanted me to be perfect. Break the defiance of the training dummy. Didn't I already do this?
You did, I thought. Maybe you have to do it again.
What else do I have that does anything? Might? No. Teleport? No. Stun, daze, knockback? Oh, he wants me to do it faster than that. Okay. I know how I can do this. I know I can do this really fast.
Loadout?
Yes. If I do this, that should do the trick. One of two. The greatsword has a lot of like CC. This one here has cripple. This one is a knockback. And then I can switch back to the dagger and hit the dagger focus, which is my other set, and hit the focus. My other set is like one-handed weapons, right? So it's the dagger is the first 3 and the focus is the last 2. But this set is just a greatsword, so it's like a 2-handed weapon, so it's all 5. Oh, I don't have dagger focus. I have dagger sword. Whoops. I also waited too long after the before the Defiance bar came out, which was my mistake. You notice that? I was waiting for this to come back off cooldown, and he didn't even have the Defiance bar back up. So I'm literally failing tutorials to a game that I've played since it launched, which is amazing.
And recording it for everybody to see.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Okay, he puts up the bar. That. Pull. Do I have anything else? I don't... What else do I have? I need something... Oh, this has some... Okay, there we go.
Bar filled up a bit.
Yeah, but I got through it. So I'm going to go back to... Oh, wait. I need to go... Sword. Where's my sword of impact? Sword. Wait, that's not how I had it. I had, like that. Cool. Check back in with Rama. I almost finished the heart just by finishing the quest. Zip line.
Yo,
do I have a... I don't have a teleport point over here, though. Waypoint. I want to. I really want to, but I don't have a waypoint to get back up. You know what? Whatever. It's a first look. Like, the thing I want to do is something cool, right? Let's...
Yeah, do it.
No, I need Jade technology for it. So I guess the little Jade robot would do it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's like you get one of these, but maybe smaller or something that like you can use.
A buddy, a helper.
Yeah, a helper.
About those things I said.
Girlfriend.
made of jade.
Okay.
The reason it's like jade tech, by the way, is because this sea was like literally transformed into jade at some point before the events of Guild Wars 1.
There's a reason we're all being
And I guess they like mined it all and stuff, so
just might be up to the challenge, Commander.
I'm not really sure what it's like now. I think some of the speculation that players had was that it might have like melted. Challenge the mech. Literally this? We already did this. Okay, it probably would have been better if I stayed on track with story. I didn't expect the story to like
Make you do all this stuff?
yeah, because it doesn't in the past. I think a lot of players like complained about too many players who don't understand how like basic mechanics work. Which I mean, like, look how many times I failed dodging. Ha ha ha.
Oh, so you're thinking that maybe this was just a get everybody on the same page kind of event?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
In my defense, with the stagger bar, this one, I just didn't know my new build, right? So like if I was still like Chronomancer, I would have been probably for open world stuff on like Greatsword, Sword Focus, and I would have just like blah 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 blah. There's all the stuff done.
Sending the Aether Blades back to the Mists. I don't suppose you'd be open to sharing any intelligence you've gathered.
Wait, the Aether Blades live in the mist?
To give you access to classified documents?
I don't know. They have a hideout that's
Ambassador Meade has a meeting with the Empress soon. If I could get her permission, would that work?
they have a hideout that is
Pretty sure I'd be obligated to give you my incisors if you ask for them.
here.
Casimir, you there? Yes, Commander.
There's a jumping puzzle there. It's really long. I don't really know. They're kind of weird, the Aether Blades. Oh, but my Trin has been on the run. And I think she went through the mists.
Though they did drag their heels a little when I asked about Timey. And you did just get out of jail. No, I can make this happen. Meet us at the Imperial Palace. I'll handle everything.
Meet Casimir at the Royal Court.
The Royal Court? Where's that at?
Here, apparently.
Is that going to be like a new town, or is this all part of the same kind of area?
It's definitely part of the same map. It's probably up like this or something. I saw like there's like actually the bridge is probably this is probably that bridge right there.
Oh, I'm having a hard time figuring out the scale of this map as you zoom in and out. So yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's very colorful. I like that.
Ooh. Hey, there's the... I guess that must be where the airship actually docked. Xingzhe Monastery discovered. I wonder if I'll recognize the general layout of it from, like, Guild Wars 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't really... I feel like... Yeah, no, I feel like this is pretty reconstructed. This...
But many years, correct? Like in
250 years in game, yeah. So it's very... like, it's interesting because some places... Remember the desert place I was standing when we first, like, started? That place is actually, like, almost exactly shaped like it is in Guild Wars 1. Like, you can identifiably see how it is the same place from Guild Wars 1. Just, like, the things around it and the condition of the place are a little different. But this is, like, obviously a place that's, like, people live here and stuff. So, like, they've built it up over years and years. And it's just going to look different because, of course, it is. I'm trying to... Like, I'm wondering if this... There's, like, a plaza in this place in Guild Wars 1 as well. But it's not... It didn't have, like, this kind of thing in it. And... Yeah, it looks pretty different. But that's cool. Oh, wait. Over there somewhere. Okay. Great. Okay, now I'm stuck in a tree. Okay. I don't have a flying mount, so the jackal is as close as I can get. Flying mounts in this game are quite a long journey to actually get.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It is not just like, here, you unlocked flying, haha. It's,
now your Tyrannosaurus can fly.
It's, like, expensive and in Argus. Well, there's two of them. There's either the Sky Scale, which is like a little dragon, or there's the Griffin, which is a griffin. And the Sky Scale is kind of like a helicopter, and the Griffin is kind of like a plane slash like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the Griffin is very like momentum based. And the Sky Scale is very like hover and float in place and kind of like go up, down, whatever. You should see Griffin movement. It's really cool. People can like really keep the momentum and like full speed fly around. It looks like you're playing like Star Fox in these maps. It doesn't make any sense. It's super crazy.
Still getting the hang of this diplomacy thing.
And there's only 2 mounts
for flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are like the different mounts. All go into a category as like skins. So like all jackals are roughly jackals. There's like different skins and stuff, but that are in like the paid store. There's none that are earned in game, which is kind of sad. The skimmer can like float over water or quicksand and stuff like that. The Springer is pretty cool. I'll show you the Springer just because it's funny. It's like this giant rabbit thing. And
agriculture, recreation, zoning.
It does that.
Oh, it jumps pretty high.
Oh yeah. Springer is pretty cool. The Raptor. The Raptor is the base one that you get at first, and it does like a long jump. Skimmer is it's kind of like a ray, you know. So the Skimmer, as you can see,
cool.
it can go over the water, and it has a bit of like a ability to sort of jump up to get me off the water. The Jackal and the Raptor are pretty like equally fast, so I just use the Jackal because I think it's cool. Let's meet the Empress.
Okay. Follow my lead.
Whenever there's any kind of like political kind of stuff like this, it's always Casimir.
Our next gen, the very latest model, upgraded specs, months of field testing.
In a closed environment with no actual people around to get in their way.
Commander.
Oh, she doesn't want me walking around. Oh, fun fact, this character canonically is also a Mesmer, so she literally teleported me back. That's why it was like purple Mesmer magic. But I can't teleport other people around. That's not fair. A lot of the characters in this game who are Mesmers can do crazy stuff that player Mesmers can't do.
Appreciated, yes, save it. Majesty, this woman is a
Yeah, this dialogue's neat. I'm not gonna lie.
This is a really cool backdrop.
And June, please afford me the respect my throne merits. I do know sarcasm when I hear it. Madame June knows her business. She has served our empire well to this point. I see no reason to doubt her now.
Imperial Majesty.
Of course you take her side.
Ambassador Meade. Well, my father thought this day would never come. If he were here, he'd die all over again.
It's zooming in by itself, but I can point around. Kind of weird. There's a lot of weird camera tricks going on in this expansion. I'll say that too. The past expansions, the past expansions never really like worked the camera for you. You know what I mean?
Unexpected dawn. A renewal of our ancient friendship.
Not exactly how we remember it. Please relay Canthus'
Excuse me.
best wishes to our sister, the Queen, whom we look forward to meeting at the soonest opportunity.
May I also apologize on Kryta's behalf for the recent unpleasant...
This is really strange because Xingzhou wasn't the capital of Cantha
If they're yours, we definitely have
during factions, but I think the Winds of Change quest line that they added to Guild Wars 1 quite late in its lifetime kind of had you overthrow this Ministry of Purity, and that probably changed the sort of locus of leadership away from Kaining City.
Oh, I see.
And
A
I'm just
political
forgetting.
intrigue.
There's a lot of that with Cantha in particular. I mean, there's a fair amount of that in Guild Wars 2 in general, but and Guild Wars as a franchise.
Too late. Tyria roils an endless war which you've now brought crashing onto our shore.
No.
In case it's not clear, Tyria is... Can I open the map? Yeah, Tyria is like this place, right? And this is like
Right.
Alona in the Crystal Desert. So like Guild Wars One's like first place started here, and then Factions is down there in Cantha, and then Nightfall expansion took place here, and then so like in Guild Wars 2 they've kind of done a lot of revisiting, but they've taken us to new places like the far reaches of the Maguma, which we only kind of brushed past in Guild Wars 1, and we didn't really kind of go as much up here. We went around here and stuff. I don't know. I want to go here. There's some like lore implications with that place and stuff from Guild Wars 1. I want to go there someday. Come on, ArenaNet, make it happen. Okay, what's going on? Press Minister join me in the antechamber. You're not.
One of them, Majesty. The commander here.
Oh, okay, we cleared the court to have the rest of this conversation.
Commander, what are you the commander of?
Nothing, Majesty.
Not anymore.
That's true. The pact disbanded.
Pact alliance.
Ah.
So we're a commander. I told you it was kind of weird that they still call us commander. I'm surprised the dialogue addressed it directly.
It's a convenient title to call the main character by.
The commander was fighting them when the airship crashed, and would relish a chance to repay Cantha's mercy. Armed with any intelligence your Ministry of Security may have, we can bring them to justice for you.
Let's hope you're a better pirate hunter than airship pilot.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, Aetherblades are pirates. I knew they were. I just wasn't sure enough to put that word on them myself. It's just been a long time since we dealt with them.
Sure. I was willing to trust you on that one, as I have no reference point, and they seemed like pirates.
Minister Lee was really mad. Oh, full cutscene.
You wanted this chaos.
I want Cantha to enter the modern age, to join the community of nations.
You don't care about Cantha. You care about money, foreign markets.
I care about both, Lee. It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not a game at all. Why do you think we sealed ourselves off to begin with?
If I may. I get it. Your people withdrew from the world. Now you're rejoining it. There is risk. There is also promise. Our nations have an unprecedented opportunity. No need to waste that over a misunderstanding.
Faces are very expressive.
Apologies.
There's like a DreamWorks kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean?
It's also better than it was in the original version.
Did it
used to be more stiff than that.
I understand you're preoccupied with other matters, but I'd appreciate your help with something.
Yes, yes.
It's very weird that Timey doesn't have a golem here. You'd think she, well, maybe she would come off threatening if she did. She's like super into making like golems and stuff, and usually rides one around. I can't remember. I feel like maybe her golem broke in the story recently. I'm a little unsure. It was the summer before last when I last caught up on story in this game, and when there last was really any new story to play.
Ambassador Meade her blessing. Consider it an apology for our rude entrance.
Like you can see, I've like played it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your kind of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of chapters and stuff. But this was like ages ago. Did this mark a new year? Oh my god. So apparently it's actually been 2 years since then.
Has it been 2 years since the last expansion in real world?
I think so. I honestly think that the year here, 25. Yeah, so the year is roughly, like, time is roughly passing at the same pace.
It's been 8 years since the starting of the story?
Yeah, I think so. The game came out in like 2013 or something, or 2012. Wait.
That would track. You can Google it.
I want to know. I want to know if I'm right. Yeah, 2012 came out in 2012. The original release of it, anyway.
Some people can't see this as a pivotal time for Cantha. Even the Imperial Court.
Even though she's more agreeable with us, she seems suspicious to me.
Did not realize
She's making robots, man.
I assure you.
Always be suspicious of people making robots. If video games and science fiction has taught me literally anything, it's that making robots is sometimes in like a Frankenstein's monster kind of situation.
Very astute. The Jade acts as a sort of battery.
I want to know if I can find a jumping puzzle easily.
That's so elegant. And here I am powering my golem mods like I'm stuck in pre-Exodus times.
Timey doesn't give herself enough credit. She's a very talented researcher and inventor.
Is that so?
That's
Do they
interesting.
What's your
do they
area of
mark them on the map?
These days it's
Some would, some wouldn't. Transfer power to 56.
Also a passion of mine.
That seems like it could be related to a jumping puzzle.
You know about
Successfully, that's just
Called
training
jumping.
grounds.
visionary who powers an entire nation. People keep you informed. If you want, I may be able to help her.
Your tech helped the commander recover, so I'd say it's worth a shot. Look at that healthy glow.
We appreciate the offer, but we'll have to talk to Aurene. Right now, she needs rest.
Of course. Let me know, and I'll make the time for her. Besides, it's not every day you meet an elder dragon.
Did the Glix lectures on magnetism ever make it out here?
You could say that. I'll have to show you my copy. Notes on every page.
Oh, do you also write sassy comments when you disagree with the author?
There's an entire section in Novi's science journals that I crossed out and wrote, "You're kidding, right?"
Alchemy, don't even get me started. More like Novi.
When she says alchemy, their people believe in something called the eternal alchemy, as like their kind of religion.
Okay.
That's what she's kind of referring to there. That just might seem out of word that she like used the word that way, or seem out of place. That's why.
Swing by the Aetherblades crash site, trying to dig up some leads on their whereabouts.
Now I want to kind of just roam a little bit before we kind of call this.
Yeah, no, explore, man. I'm just
Instead
having a
of
good time watching.
letting the story. Oh, is that? So do you think that's the corner of this zone? I think this zone is shaped like. But look, Saito, look how. Okay, here's one thing you can always bet on in Guild Wars 2. I'll tell you this much. Yeah, because look, there's a raptor taxi up there. If you see the label's in the middle of the map. So this map's actually like this.
Oh, okay.
So I suspect if I go to this waypoint and follow these roads, I can probably get out that way
I
and
would
see some more
hazard that you're
stuff.
Probably correct.
Oh, maybe I can't go through the doors yet. Oh, never mind. This is so crazy. See this? This is the name of just like a whole map in Guild Wars 1. It's just like a section of... Whoa. Okay, I have to see what that is. I have to know.
It's a big circle.
I think it's going to be a building.
Yeah, probably. Oh, neat.
Cool. It's like a temple.
A lot of free candles just lying around.
Purist Mesmer Spirit. Could a purist be a ghost of the Ministry of Purity then? Oh. Hang on. Is this the I have to know. There's like there's a section of this island from Guild Wars 1 that was always blocked off except for during a certain holiday event. And I'm wondering if that's what this is over here. I can't really tell, but maybe not. Yeah, I don't need to fight that ghost. Sorry.
You're giving up the ghost.
That's true.
As they say.
I'm actually not so sure about what I was thinking now that I went over there and saw it, but that's cool. Hero point. I would like to see pardon?
There's a heart over there.
That's true. Let's go see what it is. Oh, it might involve going in the water. Oh, it's earn the fisherman's respect by catching fish, fishing at fishing hotspots, donating Daijin Blackfin catches to Fisherman Benyo, and defending the village from Naga. Did you see that rare fishing spot? It's gone, though. Oh, I can kill this. Hello. I can't believe I didn't pull its aggro standing right beside it.
Just hang on.
Oh, I don't think I'm actually in range of the... Well, if it shows here, that should have... I feel like that should have counted. Let's make this really easy and use the skimmer. Rare fish. Maybe I can fish that from here. That seems so far out. I think I need a skiff for that. What? Oh, where's Jay? Oh, God. Jay. Jay.
Can you not fish off of your
skimmer?
Off of your ray?
Oh, look, my range is so low. You see that? No. So one of the things they added to this expansion is the skiffs, which are like these little raft boats or something. And at some point, I'm sure the story is going to give me one, but I don't have it yet. So I can't really do this heart yet unless like an event or something started that involved a bunch of Naga or something else I could do to complete this heart. So I think for now I'm just going to keep exploring. Oh, I want that. You see that right there? Those are what I want right now. That's the good stuff.
Okay.
There we go.
Is that jumping puzzle?
I don't know, but it's a mastery point. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get it. Oh, by the way, in this game you can draw on the map too. So I'm going right here. If I was in a party, other players would see that too. That was a Guild Wars 1 feature. I kind of wish FF14
temporary.
had that. Just yeah, it like fades away.
It.
Yeah,
That's
people.
cool.
It's long enough for people to draw genitals.
Oh, good. I was concerned that
that's usually what gets drawn. Just being honest, I think it actually is. I think it's at the top of that cliff. This isn't really going to be a jumping puzzle. If it lets me use my Springer, it's not really a jumping puzzle. It's just like up high somewhere. You know what I mean? In places that are actually gated off as jumping puzzles, it'll tell you that you can't be mounted.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's the mastery point. It's a good view up here, though.
What's it going to make you do?
Nothing. I think it's just come up here and get it. Yeah, just commune with it.
Huh.
Can I, no. But I can also glide from here. Have I been over to wherever that is? No, I haven't.
No.
Let's go to that.
No. So how are you feeling about this so far? Oh, you got like a really good horizontal movement on this glide.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got this a couple expansions ago in Heart of Thorns. It's a really nice feature. Makes getting around really nice, like really easy. So far, okay. So far, the story is starting pretty hot right out the gate. Oh wow! You see that?
Yeah. What is it?
Well, that must be Kaineng. So across the water, that's gonna be this place. New Kaineng City. So the really cool thing about Guild Wars Factions and about Kaineng is like this is all ruined and flooded, but this was all like Kaineng in Guild Wars 1. The majority of this place was like a giant city. Like you had this little island part, which is where you would start this campaign, and then this was like a giant city that the majority of the expansion took place in. You took a trip down here to the forest, to here to the Jade Sea, and then back up here and finished the expansion in Guild Wars Factions. And so it was like this giant city full of like super tall buildings and stuff, but it was all like, yeah. And so I guess it's like, you know, there's like another version of it. I mean, I knew there was going to be, but it's really cool to like see it off in the distance. I don't know what point the story will take us there, or if I can get there without. There might be a connector right here. But so far, oh, whoa, did I jump off? Really? I don't remember doing that. I would say that the story is starting off really bombastically. The fishing seems a little simplistic, but depending on how much of a collectathon it is, like, you know, if they make it interesting, they will gather a bunch of them and get like mastery points or do really cool things with it. Or if, or if these masteries, you know, there could be, you know, this could be interesting. Oh, that's ready to master. There we go. You know, that mechanic could be really interesting, especially with the skiffs and whatever makes it group content. One of the things they told us about Endgame is that they're taking the strike system they gave us in the Icebrood Saga, and they're turning it into like using the big story boss encounters from the main story and making like hard versions of them. So you know how like in FF14 there's like trials that are like in the story and then extreme versions?
Yep.
They're basically doing that now, which they weren't doing before. They haven't updated
that idea from FF14. Like, do you think they're seeing the success of that game and being like, "Oh, we should do some of that"?
I think the inspiration on that might be pretty clear. They have a problem where they made raids and a lot of the community doesn't do them because the community in this game, like, a lot of them are very casual, and then on top of that, the people who are very serious about raiding and stuff like that tend to put like kill proof gating on stuff, like you need to bring proof blah 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 that you've killed before. So there's these like items that are loot from that are like tokens, and people will like specifically link them in chat to get like invited or allowed into groups. The groups are also very particular about how you're built and if you're like on or off like the meta specs and stuff like that. So like basically there's a lot of like gatekeeping to raiding in this game, unfortunately, and as a result a lot of people don't really participate. And in the devs' eyes, what happened was basically the actual raids were not being played enough. So they kind of like discontinued development on them in exchange for strikes, because strikes are like a boss in an arena, which is kind of the FF14 format for raids anyway. Whereas like in this game, like this was like the first raid they introduced. As you can see, I've only really done one wing of it. But it's in 3 separate wings. So like this is a wing and this is a wing and this is a wing. And there's like a boss here and a boss here and a boss there and stuff like that. And so it's like a long dungeon type raid, you know, very like traditional style raid on like 14. This is another raid. I've only killed 2 of the bosses, or sorry, 1 of the bosses. So I've seen as far as here. There's more to this one. It goes over here.
Okay.
My raiding experience in this game isn't very complete. I've killed like 5. I killed an entire. I killed the is it the Mistlock one? It's not Key of Adashim because that one's still fogged. Yeah, it's the other one. The other one doesn't have an actual spot on the world map, so I can't really like show it. But basically, they're more like a dungeon style raid, like a traditional raid. And as a result, anyway, so yeah, players weren't really playing that, so they shifted focus to this strike system. I'm hoping that strikes will eventually lead back to raids being resumed into development once more the community engages with like the sort of end game aspirational or like harder content, because that's been a bit of a problem they've had. Basically, it's like they can't put all the development resources to like making these whole new environments and areas to put raids in and then have like a few % of the player base even touch them. Like it's really unfortunate that this happened. But basically the simple premise of like the issue is that a lot of the community devolved into like doing these open world meta events. So you saw those like orange text and like an orange circle, and that's like an event, right?
Yeah.
So there's like meta events in some of these maps. Like for example, where's Dragonfall? I'm a little lost here. Okay, so for example, like this map is, oh Jesus, where is it? Oh my God. Okay, sorry, I'm getting lost. This map is quite famous for having like a big like meta event where you like do like a big like giant lap around here, like doing a bunch of objectives, and then I don't know if you could tell, there's like a tail and this is a shoulder and an arm. There's like a crashed dragon here, right? And like at the end you like go in and like kill off its like heart or something. I can't quite remember what it is, but you know what I mean. And it's this like repeating event that happens like every like hour or 2. Or actually I really like the one here, although it's not as popular because it takes a really long time. But there's one here where like they use a mechanic from PvP where you capture zones. They actually just use it here in PvE, and you like capture zones against like the enemies that are here, and you like work your way up or whatever, and eventually you get into like the like giant ice castle here and you fight like a big boss and everything. It's really cool. It takes like almost 2 hours for the whole map to complete. And so what a lot of players got really used to doing in this game is just kind of like going and playing and participating in meta events and just pressing like 1. And so there's like huge amounts of players in this game who have like no idea how to like properly play their class or like properly engage with mechanics like the Defiance bar that you saw earlier or stuff like that. So I think the developers are on a bit of a mission to like re-tutorialize everything, make endgame more accessible and more bite-sized, and like hopefully eventually be able to start reintroducing the kinds of content that they had to kind of halt development on because like nobody was engaging.
That's
weird,
a
right?
tough thing to do this late in a game's life.
Really, yeah.
But I commend their efforts. That's awesome. If they,
I mean, that's sort of my optimistic interpretation of what they're doing. They haven't really clearly said that's the purpose, but that's what I'm reading their actions as, you know. And I think by putting the end game as like this sort of extreme trial based on story trial format for like that FF14 does, it allows them to like develop the assets once and get their big story moment out of it and get end game content out of it. So it's like really beneficial, because if the problem that they argued for like not making raids was about like development resources getting used on something that nobody plays, then it's like everyone will play the story, and even if some people only play the strikes versions of them, like they didn't develop new assets, they just like programmed new mechanics. You know what I mean? Like only encounter designers had to like take those assets and like, turn them into a strike. You know what I mean? So it's just cheap to make. I don't know. I'm really optimistic. I've sort of my love-hate relationship with this game is like, one of my problems is I really want to go and clear all the raid bosses, and like I've done some. I've cleared one full wing, which was I said Mistlock Sanctuary, but that's not a raid. That's that's like one of these hub places you can go to. I don't mean that. I mean I want to correct myself because I realize now that I said something wrong. I need to just very quickly list of Mythrite Gambit. I'm getting stuck on the M and thinking of the wrong thing. I did clear Mythrite Gambit. Yes, I remember the Twin Largos. I remember Kadim with his weird platforms that like detach from each other and reattach. I remember all that. Yeah. Conjured Amalgamate. It was like a half donut shaped arena, and the boss is like standing in the middle of it and does like weird stuff. Yeah, the raids are kind of interesting. I've cleared some of it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like, as somebody who's really into raiding in the other game that I play, there's something challenging about truly sticking to it and clearing all of them and getting really into raiding in this game when there aren't when the future of the format is like uncertain, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I've always struggled with in this game, is like, how do I get really into endgame when it's like just the same content that's been there for years, and like raids are not actively in development, and this strike system has replaced it, and like I'm like not a. It's weird. I should be a believer in the format because the format's more similar to FF14, but I'm like concerned about the format. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, but what I've seen so far, even just the first few minutes of seeing everything re-tutorialized again, and the way that the developers have talked about their plans for strikes in this expansion, I didn't really expect we were even going to see a story encounter that could be turned into a strike within the first hour, but once I see some of that stuff, I think I'll start to really know for sure. But right now I'm optimistic. I think that there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I'm assuming I can't open that until I get my little Jade robot.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that that they've filled the world in with a bunch of stuff. This map is pretty big. I can tell from the level markers that there's a map here. I can tell that there's a map here. I can tell there's a map here. I know Arborstone is kind of a hub. It looks like there's something over here, but I don't know what. I don't know. It seems like this is oh, and there's a map here. Oh, that's where the new guild hall is. I can tell because it's not popping up text, and they did say the guild hall would be near like this, so that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff here that has me, optimistic for the future of the game. One of the nice things they do too, if you're like kind of hoping for new areas, is like, unlike FF14 where the patches all take place in the same maps that the expansion added, in this game they like often introduce new maps, like these two maps here, for example, or even this one. They happened in like the Living Story seasons, which are like the cycles between expansions, like the content cycle.
They added whole maps in between.
Yeah,
main the pillars. That's cool.
Yeah, so even though it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 large maps so far in this expansion, there's a possibility for more stuff. Also, one of the things that they do in this expansion, I mean, I don't expect much out of Saitung province in this regard. You can't really see much changing, but I would expect that the city with those tall buildings is going to have a lot of like verticality. Their second expansion, Heart of Thorns, was like super famous for that. Like if you look at this map, there's like the
I think you've shown me this before,
and then there's like a top level with like crashed airships and stuff.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So I'm expecting that we'll see some of that to really like, even if it's 4 maps, if there's a lot of verticality in the Echo Vault Forest, which is full of like gigantic stone trees and stuff like that, and a lot in Kaineng, that it won't really feel like, oh no, there's only 4 maps. I think it'll be like, oh, there's a ton to do. Even if the Jade Sea is melting too, I imagine you could go like pretty deep or something like that maybe. Dragon's End is what they're calling this map. That's curious. I don't know what this is. It looks like there's like the tower in the middle. There was a tower in Guild Wars 1 that you kind of fought over and dealt with a dragon called Kunavang, but Kunavang was not a elder dragon. I don't know. This looks like stuff is like floating here. I'm getting the impression from the way that even this fogged map looks that the Jade Sea has like melted or something. I'm not sure. Defeat the Unchained and capture their ritual sites. Yeah, this game is really good at just like, oh, there's an event over there. Like,
do it.
there's like a thing. Yeah, this game is really like, its biggest strength is its open world, but in a weird sort of way that's become its weakness. With like the phenomenon described with players becoming very like 1 1 1 1 1 and non-engaged. Yeah, but
that's interesting.
It does open world stuff really well. Cool. I think this is a good place to call it. We did pretty much the opening couple missions. They established the plot. We got to see one of the new maps. Usually our first looks are about an hour and a half. We went for an hour and 50 minutes, so this will probably be the longest first look we did, I guess, so far.
Well, MMOs take a little time to get going. Man, I did like that airship.
That was a nice set piece to start the expansion with.
I think that's cool. I feel like, I mean, not to say anything about Final Fantasy 14, but some of those expansions start a wee bit slow, so it's kind of neat that this one kind of was like...
This one was like firing on all cylinders, right?
Yeah, that was neat. That was cool.
But this one has started slower in the past, so to be fair, that was a bit of a... I mean, I think that the way that Path of Fire started, where we kind of like... we landed like here, and we like explore... Where is it? We explored like these pyramids, and then like we got like a raptor, fought some stuff in this little town, and then went over here, and then right around here something, the instance ended, and you like got into like the city here. So that was pretty decent. We were dealing with like some forged, they're called. The human like god of war, Balthazar, was like going rogue, and we fought his like commander here or something. Crazy stuff. That was a weird expansion. I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic, you know. I'm feeling good about this, so.
I look forward to hearing you talk about it.
Yeah.
As someone who will not personally partake, but no, it's neat. You've piqued my interest more than I thought you might with this. I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't sure if you would be totally bored just watching this, so I don't know.
Not bored.
Cool.
And hopefully you out there in internet land were not bored either.
Yeah, I don't really know if we have any Guild Wars 2 playing viewers. We've mentioned it. I've mentioned it in passing, I think, a few times during podcast episodes, but even because I play this as a secondary game and I'm very off and on with it, even I don't really like bring it up a lot or haven't made any content around it before. So if you're watching this and you are enthusiastic about Guild Wars 2 or you've played it before or something you want to ask or even correct me on anything I might have said that was wrong, please feel free to. Or if you're interested in the game, I can let you know as well. I guess it's worth mentioning the base game, so what would have been the original 2012 release, all the way up till the level cap of 80 and all that, that's actually completely free to play. And then after that, if you purchase... If I'm not mistaken, if you purchase End of Dragons, I think Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns are bundled into that purchase. So you would get all of the expansions and caught up. The one thing they really need to address is that these living stories, this stuff, these episodes are free if you log in during the time frame where they launch, but they're paid if you didn't. So if you're a new player and you want to like have the whole story all interconnected, unfortunately this stuff is paid, including Icebrood Saga. And additionally, also Living World Season 1 wasn't designed in this sort of future-proof way, so you'll notice it's kind of missing, and we have Scarlet's War instead, which is basically you get a cutscene that tells you what happened, but you never got to play it. So it's a little... Well, select missions can be replayed. I never actually did that. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I should. Yeah, see, it was like live content. It chronicled Scarlet's War on Tyria, and it was designed to be experiences that happened. It's currently unavailable for episodic replay. So you have like a recap of that one, but I think that's free. But anyway, yeah, the thing is, unfortunately, that's the tricky part of getting into this is these Living World seasons, because otherwise you would buy End of Dragons and get Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns bundled. But it's not a hard game to get into. Community is very nice. In general, you can get a lot of help with things and kind of kind of find your way, you know, and having a free-to-play base game is like a great way. You get all of this, you know.
There's a lot of content.
For free. Yeah, so you know, there's a lot you can enjoy here if you're somebody that just wants to like try it out, if you're listening. And then otherwise, if you want to see more like MMO content or anything like that, let us know you like MMOs. And because I like MMOs, so I like covering MMOs.
Yep, you're the resident MMO guy, and I dip my toes into Final Fantasy 14 sometimes. More than sometimes. That's the one I do.
True. All right, let's give a pass to socials.
Yeah.
So as always, Twitter is TPCC_podcast. On YouTube, we are This Podcast Cannot Continue, where you're watching this. On Twitch, we have This Podcast Cannot Continue, all one word. And the actual podcast episodes can be found under This Podcast Cannot Continue on any streaming service that you can listen to podcasts on, such as like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon Audible or like anywhere else where you listen to podcasts.
The big ones.
All the big ones. We're on all of them.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. But wait, you do it. You close it out.
Okay, all right.
You get to say.
I've never said it before. All right, I'm going to say the line.
That's
all right.
true. That feels.
As
weird.
As always, our friends. Thank you for listening, and this podcast cannot continue.